Hi, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love PF2. And they keep coming out with new cool changes to stuff, and I did not realize gunslingers could do everything that they could do. Gunslingers are interesting to me now. I've included them in an archetype before, as an archetype, but anyway. So let's get to a few of the archetypes that are remastered in this book, starting with Artillerist. Nothing changed. Okay, next one. Beast Gunner. Couple of minor changes. So for the Beast Gunner dedication, you no longer have to be trained in Arcana and crafting, just one or the other. Yeah, it's nice, I guess. And also, they added a little segment here. If you also have the Spellwoven Shot action, page 141, for different archetype, you can load and activate a piece of magical ammunition as a free action before making a spell sling attack once per 10 minutes. That was the only other change. So beast guns are cool. They didn't need to change much. So they didn't. They made it a little bit easier to qualify for it. That's it. And now what you all tuned in for, Bullet Dancer changes. Jesus Christ, the changes. All right. So coolest thing right off the bat is Bullet Dancer gets access to key spells as a 4th level feat. They should. They're monks. They're monk shooters. Not shooting monks. That'd be wrong. So Bullet Dancer dedication previously was just, it didn't include wording for verbiage for combination weapons. And so they sort of had to dance around what they said before, forgive the pun, and include access to combination weapons. So previously, the dedication had stated, you gain the Bullet Dancer stance action and are trained in bayonets and reinforced stocks. Whenever your proficiency in any weapon increases to expert or beyond, you gain that new proficiency with bayonets, reinforced stocks, simple firearms, and unarmed attacks. The prerequisites to this, by the way, were expert in unarmed defense and trained in unarmed attack, which everybody is. And wisely, this one just says expert in unarmored defense, because everybody's already trained in unarmed. So now, instead of the weird clunkiness, it says, you are also granted familiarity with bayonets, reinforced stocks, martial firearms, and martial combination weapons. For the purposes of proficiency and abilities from this archetype, you treat bayonets, reinforced stocks, martial firearms, and martial combination weapons as simple weapons. You gain access to uncommon combination weapons that have a firearm ranged form. Great. It fixed a lot of questions that people had at the very beginning of the dedication. Throughout this, any time the verbiage is used for bayonet, reinforced stock, attached weapon, they've included or overridden it with combination weapon. So for Bullet Dancer stance, it says a requirement is you're unarmored and wielding a simple firearm or simple combination weapon has been added. And down below, while in the stance, the only strikes you can make are those using bayonets, reinforced stock, simple firearms, they added, and simple combination weapons. This includes the melee component of simple combination weapons. So you can use flurry of blows with these weapons. You can use other monk feats or monk abilities you have that normally require unarmed attacks with bayonets, reinforced stocks, and the melee component of simple combination weapons. They were taking care of this and making it work correctly. So for the 4th level feat, Bullet Dancer Burn, they just added similar wording. Requirements, you're wielding a simple combination weapon or an attached bayonet or reinforced stock. Instead of just, you're wielding a firearm with an attached bayonet or reinforced stock. They also took out a lot of the fluff in that paragraph for this feat. I don't know why, but they did. Okay. Instead of saying the fiery blaze of your weapons combined with your unorthodox technique leaves your opponents with little opportunity to capitalize on any gaps in your defenses or properly defend themselves against your onslaught. They changed it to the fiery blaze of your weapon shocks your enemies. Bit more concise. I prefer flowery. I like the old version because I like more words. Why use a few words when you can use way too many? Well, in Bullet Dancer stance, when you successfully strike an opponent with the melee form of a combination weapon or a bayonet or reinforced stock attached to a simple firearm. So again, just add it in combination weapon. So previously it had stated for the last sentence, while in Bullet Dancer stance, when you make a successful ranged strike against an opponent within your melee reach using a firearm, the next reinforced stock or bayonet attack attached to that firearm deals an additional 1 fire damage and 1 persistent fire damage per weapon damage die. They have changed it to, while in Bullet Dancer stance, when you make a successful ranged strike against an opponent within your melee reach using a firearm, the next melee attack against that opponent with that weapon or a weapon attached to it deals an additional 1 fire damage and 1 persistent fire damage per weapon damage die of the attached firearm. So it does a little bit more damage now. Cool. Black Powder Blaze, again, they just included make a melee strike with an attached weapon or the required weapons combination melee form. Because you can use combination weapons now. Range Disarm. Why doesn't the regular gunslinger get this? They really should get this. Range Disarm. You just shoot a gun out of people's hands. How many gunslinger shows or the rifleman or westerns have you watched where somebody gets a gun shot out of their hand? I think it even happens in Star Trek. That should be available for gunslingers or like anybody who uses a ranged weapon. So anyway, the monks can do it. Range Disarm. Requirements: you're wielding a simple firearm or a simple combination weapon. When using a simple firearm, you can shoot objects right out of your enemy's hands. Attempt to disarm the target using a ranged attack roll with the required firearm or combination weapon. That's the only change. You're just including it for use of any combination weapon. Bullet Dancer is better now. And I didn't know they could shoot guns out of people's hands. It's great. I like this. This is really good. This seems better than Pistol Phenom in some ways. Anyway, that's all I'm covering today. The Archetypes. I'll be back with more Guns Gears Remaster stuff because a lot of little shit changed, and it's good to know the changes. Like getting key spells as a frickin' monk gunner. Gun kata. I love that movie. What was the name of that movie? Anyway, it's good. It's fun. Equilibrium. The name of the movie was Equilibrium. Okay. Thank you for letting me borrow your eyes and ears today, and if you're a patron, thank you for being with me every month and helping care for the channel. If you want to care for the channel and also have a chance to win cool random stuff like a dice tray or 80mm D20 or a bunch of different dice bags that are behind me, then you can pledge $5 or more per month in Patreon, the link's below, or you can join us on Discord just to hang out. And if you're at the highest level of patron, then you get something made for you every month and you get stuff sent to you automatically, like a whole set of dice or one of these big fuckers. If you want to check the beginning of this playlist, it's right here. If you want to check out our live plays, Stolen Fate has been a lot of fucking fun. I think you'll enjoy it. See you there.